Hi Rivercrest families. For tomorrow's test, they will be having to find the volume of rectangular prisms, and when it's in a composite figure where you have two different prisms, they would divide it into the two prisms, so they could say that this one is a prism together and then the bottom one is a prism. So they would find the volume of each one and add together. So we'll start with the one on top. Volume is always equal to length times width times height. So they will need to put this on their test for each problem. If we go over to the first prism, we have a length. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 in length. The width is like how deep it is, how much the 3D dimension is on that shape. And again, we're just looking at the first one for now. So if you look over here and look how deep it is, it would be 1, 2, so that is your width, times your height, and the height is 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we would have 4 times 2 is 8. And then 8 times 3 is 24. Since it didn't tell us if it was inches or centimeters or feet, we just use cubic units, so they would need to label as units cubed. Okay, and then we'll look at the bottom. The formula does not change. We're still looking for the volume, so it will still be length times width times height. So if I look at the one on the bottom, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the width is like how deep it is. So we look at it from front to back. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the height is 1, 2. So the volume on this side, we would have 20 times 2 is 40. Again, it's just in cubic units, so they would need to label with the units and put a little 3. And to get the total volume for the whole thing, all they will do is take the volume for the top one and the volume for the bottom one and add those together. So we have 24 for the top one and 40 for the bottom one. So the total volume would be 64 units cubed with a 3, and they will need to circle their final answer. In order to get full credit, they will have to have the final answer labeled with proper units. They will need, if they get the final answer wrong, so if they circle their final answer and that number is incorrect, if they have shown their work like I've asked them to, I can give partial credit. If they got maybe the top right, and I can see that they had the 24 units, but they messed up just somewhere here in their multiplication, I can still give them partial credit because I know they have the concept. They just multiplied wrong in one place. So please stress to them to show their work so that I can give partial credit, so that I do know where they're going wrong and not just count the whole thing wrong because all they've given me is a final answer. Okay, let's move on. They will have questions that say, draw a line on the prism to show how you would decompose. Decompose is just what I did a minute ago. Decomposing it is just the breaking of it into the separate. And then it says, write your equation, which is what we just did. It would be the length times width times height, 4, count back 2, and up 3. Okay, if it gives them the units, all they would have to do, it tells to find the volume of a rectangular prism that is 2 units by 5 units by 7 units. So this is representing your